Rob Seacoke, Future Farm. Today's innovations, tomorrow's solutions.
So here with us today we have Oliver from Claas. And Oliver, we've been measuring yields for several decades now in order to actually measure what it is that we're doing throughout the year. Because you know what they say, you can't manage what you don't measure. And so there have been a lot of innovations over the last couple of decades in combines in terms of measuring yield, measuring harvest. Can you tell us a little bit about how have things innovated in this regard and what makes it easier for the farmer?
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, we noticed that already in the early 90s where we introduced our first yield measurement units on our combines, and since then we developed it further and further, and nowadays it's very simple actually on our combines to measure the yield. If it's wirelessly through our telematics website, or if the farmer decides to go on their own farm management system, they can integrate their own terminals. Everything is possible nowadays.
Excellent. So yeah, I mean, quality of measurement is so important in this, and being able to integrate in with your own management system. And so, the quality of measurement is going to be such a big deal because you can be 30 bushels off depending on how you calibrate machinery and set up and everything. Can you tell us what are the big steps that farmers need to do in order to set up their combine and calibrate it to accurately measure their yields?
So actually, since the previous years, we try to avoid to integrate the human factor actually in the process. Mm-hmm. That's why we currently have a very good version in our CBIS terminal on the cabin, where the operator actually just have to measure one grain tank load and get a recall from his tractor driver how much it was on the scale. So yeah, it's actually pretty easy nowadays to calibrate the machine. With every system, automatics play a big role here. Also, CMOS automatic, what we have on our combines, is pretty well received. Yeah, we have different operators, different experience levels, and that's what we try to tackle and to make things easier to drive the machine.
Okay, yeah. So how does setup look? When we're taking the combine out of the shed, getting ready to harvest our very first field. Tell me a little bit about what that setup looks like. As you're either hopping into the cab or inspecting the machine itself.
So actually, the only thing that he needs to do is go into his cab, start the machine, and we can also later on look into the terminal what needs to be done there. So there are a few steps which are pretty easy to see and to go through. It's a kind of wizard. We go through with the operator and calibrate the machine, and then, yeah.
You talked about integration earlier, that integrating with a farmer's farm management system is really important because you don't want to have somebody having to use a very custom or a single tool that doesn't integrate with other tools. Can you tell us just a little bit about how those integrations work?
We have different opportunities to do so. So first of all, we have the telematics website, which allows basically the farm manager to collect all the data on the whole fleet. And so the operator actually don't need to do anything. He just can focus on the process, on the combine itself, and everything behind that is done.
Excellent. So basically what your tools allow the farmer to do is really focus on those things that are important in his or her operation. It's focusing on harvesting the crop and not having to become an area expert in such a small area. So that's a great thing to be able to do, is allow that farmer to focus on what's important.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.